When Drake came to this country, I see girls in high heels, I'm seeing dresses. They honestly feel that there's gonna be a slight, even the slimmest opportunity, that Drake's gonna see them, they come backstage and bare things are gonna go on. And as a hologram, I don't know what you're doing, so I'm just thinking.
My name is Sanj, I'm head of music at Musion Systems, one of the senior producers and also senior account managers on a lot of the jobs that we work on. I've been working here for about a year and a half. I've known the directors for about 7 years now. As a business, we've been around 9 years. We're a live events holographic solutions business. So what that means is we can project the illusion of a volumetric image within the space. So we've been around 9 years now. A big break for us was when we worked with the Gorillas at the MTV Awards in 2005. Madonna saw that and we did the Grammys with her and the Gorillas literally 4 months after that. Over the weekend you saw what happened at Coachella with Tupac. We've projected 2 of the Black Eyed Peas performing with the other 2 Black Eyed Peas in Cannes. We've had a hologram of Will.i.am tour with Cheryl Cole. What I'm going to do is show you a few things, then I'll talk to you about the logistics, about how it works, and then if you've got any questions, we'll go from there. Yeah?
Where's SAS?
Fergie. Wow. That's my virgin fam, obviously.
She's singing.
Oh, you're too close, man.
Sing along, guys. Come on.
Ready, mate.
Yes. Booty shake. Booty shake.
Our trip to Musion today was fantastic. I think Sanj is a boss. They're gonna make so much money off this technology. It's absolutely amazing.
We went down there today and we saw how they made it happen and the technique that they used to make it real. We saw some other examples as well.
Yeah, it was cool and shit, and yeah, it was kind of enjoyable. It was a nice little morning out and that.
And actually got to live out a childhood fantasy. Only joking.
First of all, how did you guys feel when you saw the Tupac thing?
I thought it was dope.
I have 2 stances on it. From a technology point of view, it's like, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
From a music fan, it doesn't really.
Why not?
It was done credibly.
No, as a music
it
fan,
was done with people that should be with Tupac.
As a music fan, why didn't you like it? That's what I want.
It's opening doors for people to just be completely treated.
But you know what? But that's with everything though, man. Everything that I think is going to be innovative has always got a double-edged sword. In the beginning, straight away I was like, it's dope. And I thought, okay, you know what? It's dope, but what are the negative sides of it? And I really couldn't think of much.
The Tupac initiative was a testament to how powerful our platform can be. We're looking to work with more and more estates to ultimately bring back the wonder of some of these fantastic artists who are no longer around with us.
At first I looked at it and I thought, this is amazing technology, and it is. Then I started thinking of ways that people would abuse it. Like when you said Will.i.am hologram, before we were with Cheryl Cole, but the audience didn't actually know that it was a hologram. I'd feel a bit cheated. Like,
Was the show billed as Cheryl Cole featuring Will.i.am?
but they didn't tell people it was a hologram. I just feel like.
No, but if that's not the selling point, if you're coming for Cheryl Cole and you
But that's the start. That's the start.
Yeah,
Where far are you gonna go down?
Why do you feel the need not to say anything?
it's added value.
You know what? Until anyone was to reveal it, no one would have known.
Yeah, 'cause
so
I
how do I know
now-
I'm not gonna go to a concert now and I'm gonna be thinking I'm seeing someone and the whole concert
Then you're
happens to be an
hypothetically
image?
saying, when we get to that point, we're talking about the actual incident that took
But
place.
it's you've got to start
It
something.
was credible based on...
You find it acceptable now, but it is acceptable bullshit.
Not to cut off that conversation because it seemed like there was momentum in that, but I first saw it online about 2 years ago with that whole like animation. What's her name? Mitsuni Hatsuko or something like that.
Something like that,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So that was the first time I was like, bang! It's like this. I get this idea of a hologram as something that appears from a straight projection. I didn't think it needed to reflect off this or reflect off that. I don't know, maybe I'm just confused about what a fucking hologram actually is. So it's like an image bouncing off a mirror reflected on a transparent screen. So that's cool. I'm not hating on how you make it happen based on the technology you have. But for me, I was just a bit lost in terms of what a hologram actually means. That was the first time I saw like a hologram thing live on stage online and that. What is your next step to kind of beat that? Because I saw that 2 years ago. So I'm thinking obviously now it's like the whole Western world is alive with this whole Tupac thing because it more relates to the Western world. He's a historical figure.
Where we're hoping to move into is basically building more Musion 3D permanent installations and have them telepresence enabled so that you could ultimately have someone in London performing in 5 venues around the world live in real time and communicate with those people in real time. I think there's lots of valid points made here. With regards to like our technology, we've been around 9 years. We've done some very high profile things at certain points in our career. We started off, it was just a group of people that had a passion for this technique, Pepper's Ghost, and we wanted to bring it to the 21st century. We've done some great things. stage, the Tupac thing is just another tick of great things that we've done. As a business, we're still learning a lot about how people perceive this system. What you guys mentioned initially about duping people, that's the last thing us as a business want to do. When the Cheryl Cole initiative happened, and there was a few other initiatives that we worked on before, when we worked with Girls Aloud, there was an announcement on the radio that they were going to be somewhere and they weren't actually there. It was a hologram. There was a little bit of negative feedback from that. And with regards to the Tupac thing, it's not right for everyone. It caused a storm. I've got friends in New Zealand who were phoning me up going, Sanj, we've got this stuff in the news. The only thing they normally talk about in New Zealand is, nothing to do with Tupac.
Yeah.
I can just really see this taking off. I can see events like Glastonbury, bringing back Jimi Hendrix. The technology is amazing. There's so much they're going to be able to do with this. There's some pros and there are some cons as well. I can see people kind of not going if they feel that they're not going to get the full essence of the person that they're bringing back from the grave.
Whether you like it or not, it's here and people noticed it and they're going wild about it. Whether they like it or hate it, they're talking about it. Personally, I think that's a cool thing.
It's great for you guys.
It's definitely, it's more about, obviously there are ways that you can get at it in terms of marketing and stuff like that. And Tupac has done a fantastic way of marketing and getting everybody's attention. What you guys are probably more interested in is the technological side of it. My sister was completely offended. Like, she is a massive Tupac fan. And she was just like, how can you do that? Like, he's dead. You're going to put him up on stage, not the real him.
You know what? For a brief second, I thought to myself, wow, this is so good. This is great. But then in the same breath, I'm just like, whoa, okay, it's good now. But in a year's time, will I still feel like this? Did I only feel like this purely because it's never been done before in that type of style? And now I'm thinking to myself, like, would I still like it? Like, did the family approve?
I'm not a massive Tupac fan. Anyone that knows me knows I'm not a big fan.
Me either.
But I'm a hip hop nerd, so I know my history. Anyone who followed Tupac knows that his relationship with him and Dre and Snoop before he died was far from good.
But you know what?
Apparently Dre really fought to get that show to go ahead from what I'm hearing. I'm just saying, I don't know what his motives were, but
That's my problem. I want to know what motive
every
for doing
single
it.
rapper who Tupac hated has fought to align themselves. Nas did it, Jay's back. Tupac hated.
But creatively, who else could he align himself with?
sorry, did you have to ask his family members whether or not you could use?
So we were the technology partner. So we handled the platform to project the concept on there. Musion didn't come up with the concept. That was driven by basically the people that paid for the asset, if that makes sense. We've done digital resurrection before. We brought back Frank Sinatra for Simon Cowell's 50th. We brought back Rodney Dangerfield.
If this technology takes off to the point where I think it will, 2 generations away, people aren't going to recognise actually going to see a human being going and performing. They're literally just going to recognise going to see a hologram. And it's just reinforcing an industry that is already fake as shit and making it even more fake and more transparent.
But the most important thing for us before we push play for a show or anything is that we get the buy-in from people that are in charge of the estate ultimately.
Does it differ if it's a private function in an estate for 100 people in comparison to a massive live event like Coachella?
The most important thing is that we get buy-in from the people that are in charge of the estate. So for example, if it was your family, we would have to present that asset to them.
I'm a massive Tupac fan. I didn't understand the whole concept behind it. All I kept thinking was, what was everyone's motive for doing it? Now, if the motive was to pay homage to the artist and pay respect, then by all means do it. But if it's to generate sales or anything like that, me as a person, I'm totally against it. I feel like I have a relationship.
But I don't think that's been done. That's the point.
No.
If the sales was to drive money to Tupac's charity, though, how would you feel about that?
To a charity?
I'm just saying, if that was...
Well, you know how I feel about charities. 2p of every pound goes to charity.
For me, it was an amazing opportunity to bring someone to life that I think everyone has been missing. My biggest cosign for it is that it was done in a credible way. It was done by people that he has collaborated with already, in Dre and Snoop. It wasn't done by like Chingy rapping and trying to get him on a song, then bringing him out and all that. It would have been a joke, but it's done in a credible way. It wasn't used to sell tickets.
If you're bringing Tupac back for us to all remember the good times when Tupac was killing the game, then by all means, I think you're paying homage to him. But if you're bringing him back to just get a quick wage in or whatever, like, I'm not even down for that. Not only disrespecting the legacy Tupac left, you're disrespecting his family, fam. You're disrespecting the whole thing. Say you were like a fan, like Tupac me, would that influence your decision to go ahead of it?
I'll be honest with you, the feedback from that initiative has been phenomenal and there's all sorts of positives. There's been lots of gains for all sorts of people. Specifically Coachella. I mean, they've been on the map for a while, but this is a historic moment. For the people that invest in the Tupac Musion 3D hologram, they love the concept. You know, we've had a lot of people come in, we've had the Michael Jackson estate in here, we've had the Elvis Presley estate in here.
Imagine.
Lots of people come in and they understand the tech. It was just a matter of time before someone was like, let's do this. And the people that paid for that concept took a chance.
How do you think it's going to impact live performances from now on then? Do you think that we're not going to have live concerts anymore?
I don't agree with that.
My little niece and my little godchildren, they're like 3 or 4 at the moment. When they're older, they're going to be having concert tickets that say either like Black Eyed Peas live or Black Eyed Peas hologram, and I think that's great.
We're in an industry where entertainment, especially music, is so transparent. Nothing's real. And the fact that Rick Ross is one of the biggest artists in the world right now shows that. No, I'm a fact. What I'm saying is, the fact is, like, yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan. We're now at a state where hip hop music, especially, it doesn't have to be real anymore. Like,
but you know what?
Just wait.
Would you pay for a Michael Jackson concert that's hologram only?
No.
But you know what? Check this out.
People pay to go into the cinema and watch his movie, so people are obviously going to go and pay to watch hologram. Like,
No, that's not obvious.
No, because you're taking the artistry out of it now.
When we did the Gorillaz thing back in 2005, we thought our company was going to blow up and everyone's going to be using this and it's going to change the industry X, Y, Z. It's taken a long time for us to get to here. This is just a platform. How people use it is down to them.
There's no way I'm attacking what you guys do. From a technology point of view, I think it's amazing. I feel like it possibly is a tool for people to exploit in a way that furthers pushing the industry. Furthers pushing the industry down
Miss Snips, man.
down into more of a transparent facade.
If it becomes the norm for artists to not have to perform anymore, it's like, so we now make music with the aid of computers, so you don't actually have to know how to sing. You don't have to know how to make music because you can buy packages that come with pre-made samples and chords and all the rest of it. Now you don't even need to know how to perform either. People are buying into a musician that doesn't actually have any element of being a musician.
When we're introducing something new, I think it's natural for us to have a bit of pessimism towards it. I think that's just natural. Because the first time when vinyl was introduced, everyone was like, oh, no one's going to go out and watch live shows anymore. But what happened? People still bought vinyl, because they can listen to it at home, and they still went to see the live shows because it's a different experience. So I don't think we should get too kind of, oh man, everything's going to be fake now.
The vinyl is strictly what it is. This is
I can fake my voice on vinyl though, so therefore I can deceive you still on vinyl.
No, but
it's the same thing with projection though, it's just that you're doing this with visually as opposed to audio.
With regards to people that have mixed views about our system, one thing we want to say is that the last thing we want to do is project the wrong image of an artist.
It's a completely different medium rather than instead of. Okay, you've got hologram, you've got live performances, you've got radio, and you've got television. And I think once they start blurring into each other and people start getting confused, that's where you're going to have a lot of things.
But imagine like when
people are going to put them on the same level. It's going to be a company's interpretation of how Tupac might have performed, of how Michael Jackson might have performed. Because you don't know that's how people have
I've
put
seen
shows
Tupac
together.
live a few times and I like.
You saw Tupac live?
No, that's the video I watched. How old do you think I am, bro?
You can never really 100% say that this would have been their stage interpretation of a performance. This is literally the company saying that we think that this could have been something that this person could have done. But
say what you say.
the artistry then becomes a little bit lost because you don't know if that person would have performed in that particular way.
At any point, did you feel that Tupac was real?
No, of course.
Of course not. So therefore, you know it's an interpretation.
No, because he's
what he
dead.
is.
But if it was someone else alive, you would. Look, for example, look, you see Drake. I don't know if everyone's gonna gravitate towards it because like I agree with Snips. When Drake came to this country, I see girls in high heels. I'm seeing dresses. They honestly feel that there's gonna be a slight, even the slimmest opportunity, that Drake's gonna see them. They come backstage and bare things are gonna go on. And as a hologram, I don't know what you're doing. So I'm just thinking.
It's the whole personal side of it. Like you're not going to I'm not going to go backstage.
As long as that you say to me, you're coming to see your fucking hologram show, I'm cool with that. But I feel you on that one. I just don't want to be. Imagine I went to see my favourite artist, but then they didn't tell me on the flyer that it was going to be a hologram of the artist. But then I went there, thought I had seen them in real life, whole fucking 9 yards and shit. I would be fucking pissed. My worry lies in terms of how you're able to deceive people, and that's just my only problem with it.
The whole thing with the Tupac thing, I was told it was a hologram, so I was intrigued to see how
It's
it was going
fascinating.
to work. But if I'm not told, I feel like I'm being robbed.
If it's being sold on the premise that it's a hologram, it's fine.
The issue is in our generation where is it hologram, is it not hologram? My issue is that give it 2 generations down the line and it's
they
a
won't
standard
care.
to just have hologram.
It will allow you to pay for something that isn't actually real. So trailer standards, somebody will stop that from happening. It will never get that far.
If you hadn't done this and you'd gone to a concert and been fooled into thinking that that was Will.i.am on stage, how would you feel?
I would feel hurt, I'd feel hurt. There's a lot of factors that have to be thought out before you initiate something like this. One of them is, respect. You've got to have respect respect for the people that are buying the ticket or going to see this event. You can't fool them because they're just going to feel robbed. Second thing is taste. Whatever you develop up there has to be perceived in a tasteful way.
Exactly, like that ballerina just then, like that was amazing. I'll take my little sister to go into that, whether it's a hologram or not. It depends on what it is that is the hologram. I think they should steer away from the dead people thing. I've heard rumours that they're going to be doing the Michael Jackson thing. With Tupac as well, I think the reason why it might have received a bit of negative press is because there was that whole conspiracy about whether he actually is dead or not. To put a hologram of him on stage, everyone just got chills a little bit.
It's how I'm being sold what I'm going to see. If I'm being told that I'm going to see Cheryl Cole live in person, if I'm in the front stage, I want to be able to touch her and be like, oh shit, I just touched her. Sorry. Sorry, bro. No, none of that shit. It could have been anyone.
When we started, we didn't really have the gravitas to implement our system into a live show. The Tupac initiative, which has happened like 9 years after our inception, is kind of testament that we're here and we're here to stay. It's up to the people that come up with the creatives to create something that's right for the consumer. What we're keen on getting involved with is a fashion stroke music initiative that has never been heard of before or never seen before. Ultimately, we want to create a spectacle using different mediums of artistic expression, and hopefully there'll be some artists that are interested in coming to us with some creative ideas that we can help them initiate.
Have you had a lot of interest from the porn industry? On a serious note, I would imagine for the porn industry, this is going to be crazy.
I'm not head of porn. We have had people come to us specifically to do things that are of a sexy nature.
How far do you think you are away from actually being able to communicate with this hologram thing where it's actually responding to your...
We already do it. I can film you in London, for example, and project you into LA or New York. We've done that with Cisco and Telstra.
I won't have to be the person being projected, as in you can just say, you know what, I want T's hologram that I prepared earlier, and he can just answer questions without me actually answering it.
They're already...
Maybe Cisco with long heads.
No.
That's what I thought.
Cisco Systems.
Cisco Systems, Cisco Systems. But no, we're focusing on licensing content, so we're filming artists at the moment, comedians, making them into Musion 3D assets and selling that to our clients to ultimately provide entertainment to people that couldn't normally have the chance to see someone like the Black Eyed Peas, for example. The content that goes to that projector can be manipulated any way you want. I don't know if you saw the Beardy Man Musion thing that we did, where basically we filmed Beardy Man's head.
Beardy Man?
And it was
Beardy Man.
we talking about.
Doing all
I
sorts.
thought he said beanie.
Doing all sorts of stuff, and then basically they attached an animation of his head to sounds that he'd already created, and they attached it to like a drum kit and also some decks. So you basically got his head like spinning around and stuff. So there are companies that we work with that have already made female presenters, and you just tell them what to say. And so yeah, we're getting there. I think this debate today has been really, really positive, not just for people watching, but also for us as well, because it's made us think about a lot of things, and I think there's some exciting things to come.
Oh, let me explain.
Jay, what's he got in his hand?
What happened here was, I'm gonna explain. Oh, wait. Alright, this is what happened here. She had beer bells co-signing her. A bag of them. The whole of that flipping, whatever they were called, a bag of them. I remember the first time she went Westwood, it was like 5 man. So she didn't have a co-sign, Ross Clark.